Hello and welcome to your Course in Miracles, Living a Course in Miracles Zoom call. My name is Jared Krebs. I'm here in San Antonio, and I am excited about today's call because we have three very exciting Ken Wapnick videos that were chosen by Mr. Nathan Lively. And I am going to give you the names of those videos because we're going to be discussing these three videos. I watched them today and they were very, very good. They are, one moment here. Oh, people are saying, hey guys, what are the videos for today? I will not hurt myself. That's the first one we're going to discuss. Then how Jesus uses the body. That's the second one. And then chop wood, carry water. Not chop water, carry wood.
Chop water, carry wood.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about these three videos. I'm pumped about it. I'm excited to talk to you. And who wants to go next? What's your name? Where are you calling in from? And why are you excited?
Hey, this is Nathan Lively in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And I'm excited to talk about these videos, see what you guys think about them, and practice forgiveness. Okay, thanks.
Sweet. Thank you, Nathan. Linda Pettigrew, I see you. Let me unmute you.
I think.
Okay, Linda, go ahead.
Oh, I can talk. Okay. I'm a little slow with this thing. Yeah, my name is Linda Pettigrew. I'm calling from Lancaster, California, here on the West Coast, and I'm glad to be here. And I love doing the Course in Miracles audiobook club.
Yeah, we love you, Linda. I like your hat.
I do the best I can.
Awesome.
I think my boyfriend gave me this hat. I don't know. I keep it in the car.
Pretty cool. All right. So let's talk about these three videos. So the first one is I Will Not Hurt Myself. It was a 5-minute video. And when I watched it, what stood out to me was the concept of seeing people as different than us is what causes the hurt. And seeing people as the same with similar interests, the same interest of waking up from this dream and seeing everything as the same between me and you or my brothers and sisters, that actually helps dissolve the dream and brings a lot of peace. He also talked about how we have a need to see guilt in other people. So that's the special hate relationship. Out of my need to see guilt somewhere comes the special hate relationship. And then out of my need to replace God comes the special love relationship. So that if I need somebody to complete me, or if I'm not happy without that person in my life, then that special relationship is my need, still also my need. So those are what I really got out of that first video. The second video, how Jesus uses the body. What I really liked about that video was that Ken Wapnick is basically saying, this world doesn't work. And you've got to be motivated and not just be like, oh, this world is so great, la, 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 la. Like Jesus is trying to help us see that, hey, be motivated because nothing ultimately works long-term in this world. And so I like that Ken Wapnick was saying that because it was, well, I already know that. My life is going really good right now. Of course, I just lost my mom, so there you go. I guess it can't be going that good if you lose your parent, but at the same time, I'm motivated. I know that it's all a dream, and yes, it's going really good right now, and it's a dream whether it goes good or it goes bad. But I'm motivated, man. Let's rock. Let's keep reading. Let's keep forgiving. Let's keep these calls going. Let's rock it. And let's wake up from this dream, and let's finish it in this lifetime. Let's not do it. Let's not take 10 more lifetimes to get this job done. Let's forgive everything this lifetime. Okay? Okay. So that is my second one. My third one, chop wood, carry water. Yeah, haha.
Chop water, carry wood.
I keep saying it wrong. So that one, I like how he's basically saying, you know, you can be the greatest spouter of metaphysics of Course in Miracles, but if you're not practicing it on a day-to-day basis, on a moment-to-moment basis, keeping the thought system of the Holy Spirit firmly entrenched in your mind as much as you possibly can, and hopefully eventually it'll be all the time, but just as much as you can, that's really the key to the Course, not being someone who spouts off the metaphysics of the Course like so great, but then doesn't practice it. And it just kind of stood out to me, that word spouts, you know, like a water spout, or someone who's just kind of throwing up the Course all the time, which I'm not saying it's bad to talk about the Course or be able to use the terms, because it really is obviously important to understand the terms. But I think he just is saying that it's more important to practice true forgiveness and spiritual sight on everything. And I think he also mentions that some people were actually teaching the Course without ever even completely finishing the Course or reading the entire Course, and now they're a Course teacher, you know. And I am not a Course teacher. I am a student, and this group is really just, we learn from Ken Wapnick, and we share our highlights. And yeah, so anyway, I just want to throw that out there. I'm an average student, though. I'm pretty enthusiastic about it. So that's where I'm at. Those are my highlights from the 3 videos. I see Sebastian has joined us from Canada. Hi, Sebastian. Not sure if we're going to hear you, so maybe you can chat. Maybe you can type in what your highlights were. But I'm glad you can hear me. And yes, we see you chatting there. So hello, Sebastian from Canada. Good to see you, my good man. All right, and I see Angela has just joined us. Welcome, Angela, to the show. So I just shared my highlights from the 3 videos, and but before we go on to the next person, which it could be you if you want to go, tell us, Angela, where are you calling in from, and why are you excited about today's call?
I'm calling in from Lakeway, which is nearby Austin, Texas. And I'm talking about these topics.
Yay! And I can't wait to hear about your pilgrimage to, did you go to a waterfall, or where did you go?
Yeah, the Pedernales Falls. It ended up being something very different than what I expected, but it was still a thing, so.
Oh, okay. Maybe you can chime in here at the end of the call about that.
Okay.
All right. So who wants to go next? What were your highlights from the 3 videos this week?
Okay, and seeing ourselves as separate, that's when we are choosing the teacher of the ego. And then when we see no separate, Holy Spirit.
Oh, yeah.
I thought this was interesting. It's impossible to be in this world as a body without feeling guilt. Oh, Jared already said this, sorry. Guilt demands suffering. Our belief in guilt is the cause of our pain. Let's see.
Our belief in guilt is the cause of our pain. And didn't he say something like, that's the last thing you would think of? It's your guilt that's the cause of your pain. It's not this or that. It's your guilt.
I don't remember.
That stood out to me.
Let's see. Oh, right. So because of that, I've recently, like, when I can remember, like, I'm looking at my wife right now because she just cycled up, and seeing her and think, I see my innocence in you. So that's what I've been thinking about. I think maybe he said that at some point.
Ooh, that's a good thing to think. That's a good thing to think whenever you see anybody.
Mm-hmm. The reflection in this world is my separation from other people through judgment. I don't know if I wrote that down right. Okay, let me move on to the next thing. I will not listen to the ego when it says that I am better off when I hurt other people by attacking them. I will choose the teacher of love, not the teacher of hate.
Yes.
Oh, he did say seeing other people as different from me is the source of my unhappiness. Okay. So chop water, carry wood. You have to do the daily work. Monitor our mind for ego thoughts, right? Judgment, irritation, loss of peace, mind wanderings, aka. This is all a defense against remembering who I really am. And everything is an opportunity to forgive.
Yes, sir, it is. I like that that thing about mind wandering. He says, like, and I got to thinking, like, okay, so what is happening when my mind is wandering? Like, what am I doing? Am I seeing the differences between me, Jared, and other bodies? Like, is my mind wandering, and that's propelling? Is that what happens when I'm mind wandering?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of it now. I mean, we listened to that whole video about mind wanderings about 3 months ago. So I thought this was just a good addition to that. So there's a whole video where Ken explains it that we already went over, but I'm starting to think of it as like I'm wandering into the ego territory. And then I remember, I'm like, oh, let me choose again. Then I come back to the Holy Spirit territory.
Yes. Awesome.
So about the body, oh, one more thing I was going to say about mind wandering. I think he mentions that there's some people who are at some point, like in your last lifetimes, maybe you're so advanced that you spend more time with the Holy Spirit, and you spend a lot less time sort of being in the world, worrying about the world and stuff like that. So I've been thinking about that a little bit too. Like the more I'm sort of like caught up in the world and feeling like those problems are so important and letting them upset me or in other ways, take my focus. I wonder if that's mind wandering too.
Awesome.
Okay, so I'll just say a couple things about the body. We make guilt real and must flee from God's wrath. So we made up the world to hide in. If I accept that this world is an illusion, then eventually I have to accept that this body is an illusion as well, and therefore my personality. And I think that's the biggest hurdle. That's all I got.
Yeah, that's really good stuff, man, because we don't want to give up our bodies. We don't want to give up our ego selves.
Yeah, it's mostly, I think it's the personality, like we were talking about in Parents and Children. Like we spent 35 years building that fucking thing. It's like it seems so intricate and complicated and important, and we put so much work into it, and to now, like, it's almost unthinkable to say now I'm going to just get rid of that or let it go, or it's not real.
Yeah, but that doesn't change the truth. The truth is it's not real.
Right.
Whether I want it or not, the truth is the truth. And I can't handle the truth. Sorry, guys.
Jack Nicholson.
Okay. Thank you, Nathan.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right, who's next?
I can say a few things. I don't have a lot of things to say because I just listened to the videos as quickly as I possibly could today. Or not, I mean, I squeezed them in to my like moving from one location to another. So I was kind of like, I got to listen to this so that I can at least, not be like, oh, didn't listen, and didn't miss anything basically. So the one that had the most impact on me was the chop wood, carry water one, because the importance of daily practice and keeping yourself engaged in this practice carries a lot of energy with it. I remember Michelle early on saying it's really important that you do it every day. Like if you do it, you got to do it, because otherwise it's like there's an amount of energy that doesn't carry on as easily. And I've definitely experienced that, and I'm working on trying to find a structure that helps me do this every day. I listen to Marianne Williamson a lot, but that's not necessarily doing the course. But I think it's better than nothing. And then I also, the code switching between Landmark and Course in Miracles they go together so well, but for some reason it's just really hard for me to code switch. So I feel like I want to sit down and be like, okay, and landmark, and, you know, Course in Miracles, these things mean the same thing, you know, with a different focus, of course, as you mentioned before, Jared. So I mean, I didn't really, I remember him talking about like, yeah, people don't like this because it says you have to get rid of the body. And that's why, you know, people don't like this. But I was thinking, well, I mean, it makes sense. So I guess whoever's ready to do it is ready to do it. So
Totally.
that's basically what I have, because I listened to them only once and kind of in transit.
Yeah. Hey, you just reminded me of that one course lesson that says, I am not a body, I am free. I am still as God created me.
Mm-hmm.
Have you come across that one yet?
It sounds really familiar. It might have just like when I listen to Marianne Williamson, she will kind of like highlight certain lessons.
Uh-huh.
That, I mean, I've heard it before. I don't know if I've gotten there yet. I mean, I know I'm in like the 140 somethings.
Woo! Good job.
It took me more than 2 years probably to do it.
Who cares? Who cares? You're doing it. You're doing the workbook. You didn't quit.
Right. I definitely didn't quit, but I've definitely taken on a number of days of pause in between.
Totally fine. No guilt. No guilt. This is the no guilt zone.
Oh no, I know. I'm not espousing any guilt at all. I'm just saying, like, I'm not doing it every day.
Okay.
You know, I'm not doing the same lesson every day until I'm ready to do that. You know, I'm like, oh, it's been a week since I've done one. Let's do one. You know?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, I don't know what you want to call that, kind of like disjunctly doing it.
That's still awesome. I want to acknowledge all your efforts, and the fact that you got the videos in between your transitions of your day, just so you could be on this call. That's good too. So thank you, Angela.
Thanks.
Yes. All right. Anything else?
Not right now, no.
Okay. I also want to just add, you know, we're not trying to get rid of the body. We're waking up from the dream that we think we're a body.
Right.
Awesome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we have Linda or Sebastian. Now, Sebastian, if you want to go, maybe you can type like what you wanted to add in the chat. Then I'll read it because I still can't hear you. I know you can hear me, but I cannot hear you.
Yeah,
can anyone else hear Sebastian?
I can't hear you.
Okay, so we cannot hear you for some reason. It might be that you have to change your input of your computer, like audio input, or I could also send you a phone number that you could call, and then you'd be on your phone for your audio.
You hear me?
Oh, we can hear you.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's a little bit tricky for me because I'm French in Canada and I'm learning English. I understand us. You understand you, but my practicing is it's a little bit. I need to practice more my English. But for now, that's my second years of practicing the course in Miracle. I do the lesson with Ken, with the workbook, the workbook. I'm listening. I'm recording all the text of the course because I have this. I have the time for, and because I would like to deeply understand the message of the course, and I practice the better I can the forgiveness because that's the message of the course, and I read all the book of the Gary's book and the dernier the last book. I read the last book, and I listen not all the video, the capsule of the Ken, but I read in French some text, some text of Ken, because for me Ken Wapnick is the greatest. Je sais pas, ouais, for me that's if you want the clarity of the course of the forgiveness, Ken Wapnick. But the practicing the forgiveness you can only do by yourself and with the Holy Spirit or whatever symbol you want. But ouais, I need to practice every moment of my life. In this moment, my life seems to be a little bit difficult. It seems to be difficult, but that's the opportunity of forgiveness. For me, all the event appears in your life is the best opportunity. And Diego says, "Ah no, that's not the good event. It's not. C'est jamais. It's not
Never.
Ouais, non, the good event, the good person, no, that's a good event every time. I need to see that, to see all the event, all the people, that's this is a perfect symbol in my life forgive something I don't want. Because if I don't want this event, I need to forgive. If I accept the moment, I don't need to forgive anything. Even a difficult, even a difficult moment. Enfin, surtout quoi. Je sais pas comment on dit en anglais, mais ouais, voilà. Mais I don't need to say anything more because I just listen. That's for me. That's je sais pas.
You are doing great with your English.
Yeah,
Well,
seriously, you are.
Thank you. I'm practicing. I would like to clearly to more clearly practicing and saying some sharing this message with English people because I need I need that maybe. I don't know.
It's great. I thank you for coming on and thank you for sharing what you shared just now. It's awesome that you're studying the course and that you're studying Ken Wapnick
Yeah.
heavily. And then I guess, is Ken's work also translated into French or is it just all English?
Yes. You have some text.
Okay.
Translate in French.
Okay.
But when I'm do the lessons, I do in English. Sometimes I need to translate.
Yeah.
Translator take some maybe for one lesson. Sometimes it takes 3 hours for me.
Gosh.
Ouais, donc maybe sometimes 4.
Yeah, but, bro. Yeah.
Right now I'm recording all the chapter. I am in chapter. It's my second read of the book, and I need to because I need to read slowly, more slowly I can, because I'm practicing the drums, and when you practice the drums, you practice the movements. More you practice slowly for everything. More you practice slowly, more the clarity of the. If you listen, if you read slowly, maybe the clarity of the message is you seem to be completely immersed.
Yes.
With the message, and more you are that in your mind. It's a completely destroy. I don't know, not destroy, but the system of the ego, because I am constantly in the system of the ego. I see the system of the ego for the separation, fragmentation. It's it's all the time it's complicated, because the ego, that's the message of the ego, that complication is the key of the ego. C'est simplicity and generalization. It's a Holy Spirit, and egos, it's very, very complicated. Je sais pas, sorry for my English,
It's okay, bro. Keep it coming.
It's totally fine.
You know, I want to just add this before we move on. Also, I like that even though it's hard because you have to basically translate a lot of this to know it from French to English.
Ouais, bah ouais.
Since it's harder for you, you have a higher desire level. It's like
Ouais.
you had to work. You had to work to figure it out, and it means more. And that's really cool because you end up taking your comprehension much higher. So
Maybe not. I don't know. I do my best.
That's right. Thank you, bro. Let's go to Linda Pettigrew in Lancaster, California. Linda, what were your highlights from the video? Videos.
Okay, here we go. Still trying to learn how to use this. So, yeah, for the first one, I will not hurt myself. Ken talks about you have to focus on your mind and your spirit. And basically, that is connected to your ego. It is, not your body. The thing is, in a nutshell, okay, the body carries your mind, right? That's the way it is. The body is just like a vehicle. It's your mind that runs everything. Even though the body and the mind, everything work together, but the mind is in charge. The mind is the boss. Okay, how Jesus used the body. Okay, I guess for I know I wrote something. I wrote maybe in a shortcut, do a 10-step moral inventory nightly. Oh, that's for the chop wood and carry water. Yeah, okay, yeah. So basically, it's for the last video. You had to take a 10-step moral inventory or a 4-step moral inventory. You can find those apps on your cell phone. And Jesus, he basically talks about, I'm in the rooms a long time. You have to basically do everything in love and light. I mean, life is not perfect. I know we all go through stress. I mean, I go through stress myself. One thing I have to worry about is my legs, because I mean, I did a lot today, and I kind of do a lot. And on top of all of this, I lost the power cord to my cell phone. I just have to like run to the store doing 90 miles per hour and get a new cord for it, because I have an LG Stylo 4, and that uses the USB-C cord, which is different from the USB micro cord. Oh, God. And you know when you have like a pile full of one cord, so you buy a new phone, you have to buy a new cord? Well, that's where you use A Course in Miracles. You have to keep it simple. Change is going to always happen. You have to accept it. So, and what I do is I do the 10-step moral inventory and the 4th-step moral inventory at night if I have time, or I do a meditation with God. I talk with God that you can do. Just lay there in bed. I know there's a prayer I forgot. Maybe A Course in Miracles has it. You can make one up yourself, you know? But what you have to do is, I mean, this November, I'm going to have 25 years clean from cocaine. Oh, God, I can't believe I made it this long, you know? And I'm going through changes myself. And I talk to God all the time, and I hope I'm doing good. I'm not perfect. Well, believe me, I'm not perfect. And you basically have to do things in love and light. You have to think of it, how is your neighbor going to accept this? Even if you're faced with the situation you're doing by yourself, you have to look at it, how will my neighbor accept this? You want to like have a talk with God, maybe before you walk into the situation, if you're able to, you know? And that's what I try to do.
Love it.
So, okay. I love you.
Linda. All right. So we've heard from everybody now. And so now we're going to do a speed round of forgiveness in the field. There's 5 of us. I think if we do maybe 2 to 3 minutes each, we'll end the call on time. And then I want to hear from Angela on your pilgrimage to the, I guess didn't become a pilgrimage. I don't know.
It was definitely something like that.
Awesome. So do you want to start?
Sure. I can start. So, it was Labor Day was one of the days that I actually did a lesson, and it really brought up stuff about, I forget which lesson it was. Gosh, I completely forget what lesson it was, but I like texted it to you. But it brought up a lot of questions about healing. Oh yeah, maybe I shouldn't go first. I don't know. I need to probably go find what I said.
Okay, I'll go first. I'm gonna go first, but I'm gonna do it with a timer so we can keep the call moving. Okay. So let me turn on the timer. Okay, I'm gonna go for 2 minutes. Forgiveness in the field, folks. Here we go. Okay, so my forgiveness in the field this week. Of course, I'm drawing a blank right now. There's got to be things that pissed me off this week. There's got to be. What was annoying or pissed me off? I need to come up with something for Nathan. Wow, my 2 minutes is just ticking down here. Give me a second, guys. When my 2 minutes is up, then I'm going to not have any more things to say about forgiveness. Oh, I don't see.
You want me to go?
Yeah.
Great.
Okay, you start. Here we go.
All right. So so one of them, my forgiveness in the field this week was got into kind of a disagreement with my wife about just house chores and stuff, and we ended up having to go pick up our box of vegetables that we get every week at like 9 at night. And I said I would do it, and then I didn't leave right away, and so then Ellis just left and went to do it by herself. And so it was great because I was just all by myself, and I was upset and annoyed, but I had plenty of time and no one around to just do my forgiveness in the field. So I did my forgiveness, and then she came back and we talked about it, and like that was a whole other thing. But I'm glad that I, was able to like do my forgiveness before even like getting into another interaction. So that's it for me.
Well done. Great forgiveness, Nathan, with 47 seconds left on the clock.
Woo!
All right, my turn. I'm ready. I thought of something. Okay, here I go. Okay, so I am doing a nonprofit event with my wife called Fashionable Adoptions. And we are doing a big fashion show where pets are going to walk down the runway with fashion models. But these pets will be adopted. These are adoptable pets. They're pets that are like in the pound right now that need a home. So that's the good side. But all the work involved, it's like you're planning a wedding. I mean, we're planning tables and chairs, and we're selling tickets, and we're like doing everything. And it's all on Crystal, really, but it's on me too. And we have a sponsor who donated like thousands of dollars. Shout out Bram Villarreal, like $5,000 to pay for like all the stuff and allow us to like really put the ticket sales towards the pets, right? So like we're doing a big thing here. It's like so cool. Well, it's a lot of work, and I got a full-time business. I still haven't gone to the dentist or got my oil changed, or like things that I'm just like overwhelmed with like stuff to do because our business is growing too, and I'm not complaining, but I'm overwhelmed. So my angst my angst has been like a major forgiveness this week. Like, okay, Holy Spirit, help. And I said that last night. I was like, Holy Spirit, help. Help me to have true forgiveness. Help me to have spiritual sight. And I slept so good last night. And that was really neat because I feel like maybe the fear has gone away a little bit. And then there's always that constant fear of poverty that I deal with. And that's also subsided a little. But that's been my forgiveness in the field. So there you go, guys, with 3 seconds to spare.
Yay.
All right. You ready, Angela?
Okay, I basically have a journal entry to read because it's been, So first of all, I'm going to start with a text that I sent to Jared that morning. Hey, Jared, I'm going on a journey today. My workbook lesson is 140. Only salvation can be said to cure. I had a difficult time reading it and not being really confused about what happened to your mom. What happened to your mom makes sense with the course. I have a spiritual mentor named Sudha who also died too early in her life from cancer about 8 years ago. I decided that today is the day I understand this better. I meditated for 20 minutes asking for guidance and answers while crying. It was a different cry, a cleansing, calm, and seeking cry. I'm going to Pedernales Falls, was led to do so. It was one of my options for a Labor Day excursion, and the Holy Spirit said yes to it. I have a strong connection to that place. Went there after I visited Sudha for the last time. Didn't know it would be the last time. I may not learn everything today, but I will learn a lot. I thought I would share this with you and that you would appreciate knowing it. And also I want to try to talk to your mom and Sudha today. I definitely accomplished something, but I know I am/was attached to accomplishing more. I had a way I thought it would look, and it didn't end up looking that way. Every time I read the lesson, and I'd read it like on the hour. Every time I had read the lesson, that's it. I understood it better, but some of it is still confusion. It's still confusion. I think it may just be level confusion. I think this is when having the Ken Wapnick book/commentary on the course would be quite useful. I guess my biggest question about their deaths and this lesson is why weren't they healed of their cancer? Why did they end up dying of cancer? And I guess I didn't actually ask the question like that earlier, which may be why I didn't get the answer to that question. I'll ask the Holy Spirit that once I'm done chatting about what I need to learn. So basically, Ken Wapnick to the rescue. I watched a bunch of videos of him to like help understand this. I think it was just level confusion, really. He said, atonement heals with certainty. And, oh wait, no, crap. This is stuff from the lesson that I commented on. I think I'm just going to go down to when Ken Wapnick commented on stuff that he wrote. Blip, blip, blip. I didn't end up talking to either ladies, but I had a really intense forgiveness session. I think Holy Spirit wanted to show me how attached I am to Pedernales Falls, which is similarly how attached I am to my body. Because basically, I got rained out.
Oh.
So I went there, and I went down, and I was going to like start hiking, and I was like looking around at stuff, and I really love the formations there and how the water is different every time you go there. And I was looking around, and then I looked off in the distance, and I was like, okay, that's definitely a storm, and and I see lightning, so I'm probably not going to be staying here very long. That's neat. I just drove an hour to like be here for 20 minutes. And so it was like a bummer. So I went back up, and I was just in my car. I made it right before it started raining. But I think Holy Spirit wanted to show me how attached I am to Pedernales Falls, which is similarly how attached I am to my body. I didn't get to spend much time in P Falls because a huge storm blew in. I got into my car right when it started raining. It was nice to be there, and I had a mini picnic outside of my car before hiking down there, and it was lovely outside. But once I got there, I realized that a storm would be there soonish. Yeah, all that driving for nothing. Let's see. There was something for me to learn. I did a lot of meditating in a contemplation of the lesson type of way, and I think maybe I'm tired. I just don't know what to read to you. Let's see. Okay. I don't know. I probably went over my time like twice, but
that's okay. I thought the time. I had a sense you needed some more time. So.
Yeah. I'm like just trying to like, oh, what do I tell you?
Just keep going.
So okay. The wisdom that I got from the Ken videos at the end, I was like, okay, how do I like summarize this? How do I get something? How do I understand? I can be at peace even though my body's falling apart, is something he said. with the woman who's dealing with one ego landmine after another. There was one who's like, but this, but that. And he was like, yeah, your just ego is creating a landmine for you. Is that if you can be at peace even though you're physically sick the rest of your life, you're not sick anymore. Your body may have the symptom, but your mind is healed because you're not giving any power over you. The sickness is in the getting upset because I have the symptom. It says that truth will correct the errors in your mind, not your body.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think when somebody gets like sick in their body, they think, oh, I'm not spiritual enough, and that's why I'm getting this sickness, and they kind of get down on themselves. I know my mom did. Like she was thinking that her body status had something to do with her spiritual development.
Yeah.
But what you just said was exactly opposite to that, which is when you're okay with it and you heal the mind, then it doesn't matter, and you're actually not sick. The mind's not sick, even though the body does pass away.
Yeah. The question is, the healings that happened, like, oh, you don't believe it anymore, you're healed. But I mean, I guess that's just maybe just level confusion, or like if your mind is.
I don't know about all that, but yeah, I mean, I know what you're talking about when people have like spontaneous healings and things like that.
Yeah.
But I've been reading those angel cards. I did a Facebook Live about it the other day again, and it really gives me a lot of peace to know that my mom had one of the cards that came up that we read was she talked about how she had to leave that way, and it was part of her soul's contract. And I don't know if you've heard of that before, but like the idea of like the day you're gonna die has already kind of been agreed on with your higher spirit guides or whatever, and like the day you were born. So like those 2 days are already set, no matter
what.
That
was I think something that came up with Gary Renard's stuff.
Yeah, I don't know where I heard it initially, but when that card came up, I'm like, wow. So my mom had 62 years. That's what she had, and that was her soul contract. And we've been preparing for this day before ever since we first met. And we knew that I would be leaving before you. And it was just like a great card. Go see my Facebook Live. I made it yesterday. But it was like, I read that and I was like, ooh, wow. That gave me a lot of peace though.
Cool. I watched the first one that you did.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, yeah. There's a few more things if you want me to add, like whatever I got from Ken Wapnick, because I was just like, struggling with this. The outside world you see is a projection of the inward condition of your mind's choosing the wrong teacher. Yes, sickness is a defense against the truth, but so is breathing. And so is seeing through your eyes. There's no hierarchy of illusions.
I love that.
Yeah.
He always slaps us,
I know, it's great. Everything here is equally false. The fact that I have a headache isn't, and I think this is what I said. The fact that I have a headache isn't more true than the fact that I breathe. The fact that my friend died of cancer isn't more true than another person dying peacefully of old age. Having trouble getting out of bed at 80 isn't more true than eating breakfast. The choice of whether to look at the pain through the eyes of the ego, which will make a huge deal out of it, which is something what he said, or the eyes of the Holy Spirit, which will say, okay, what's next? This is my classroom for today. The only issue is what teacher will I invite in? The teacher that will make the shadow real, or have Jesus be my teacher, and he'll help me realize that this is a shadow that has no effect on the peace of God within me. Yeah. And then the last one is, our biggest fear is how powerful our mind is. That's why we created this world. When we have a headache and then feel better because we took 2 aspirin, we don't feel better because of the aspirin. We feel better because the mind chose to let go of the symptom.
That's so cool.
So that was my journey.
Man, you just dropped all kinds of truth bombs just now. That was Angela Wapnick time right there.
No.
I loved it. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm glad it was beneficial, even though it didn't look like I thought it was going to look. And that was also another like attachment, I thought I was going to like talk to your mom.
Right. Oh, dude, that's so cool though. Yeah, you got a lot out of that though. So awesome. Thank you, Angela.
You're welcome, Jared.
All right. Okay, Sebastian, Linda, forgiveness in the field. What did you forgive? I know we kind of got off on our timer thing. But anyway, who wants to go next? Anything that you forgave, anything that like pissed you off and then you forgave it and you want to share. That's what this is about. Forgiveness in the field. Now you don't have to share either if you don't want to. Oh, Linda raised her hand. Okay. So Linda, I unmuted you. Go ahead.
Okay.
What did you forgive, Linda?
Well, I know I had to forgive myself because I was just running out today doing this, that, and the other thing. And I have an LG Stylo 4, okay? And that accepts a USB-C power cord, okay? It's different from the USB micro power cord. Now, when I bought the phone, maybe I should have looked, but I mean, you know, when you have a pile load of the USB micro cord, and you get one cord that's different, and you're like, I mean, with the LG company and Metro PCS, I am like this with them, but I had to forgive them, you know? I mean, Course in Miracles teaches me this, but I mean, I bring my power cord with me. If I go anywhere, I just simply just plug in my cell phone and I can charge it up. And when I got this cell phone in Metro PCS, the lady told me it has a particular charges that it needs. And it says fast charger on it. I'm like, oh, great, you know? I mean, I have like all sorts of power cords and all sorts of chargers at home. I have like a big bag of the chargers. Oh, God. So maybe if I look in that bag, maybe I'll find something, but it's, frankly, I think it's BS, but I think they should just make it the same, you know? I mean, some of us are on a budget, and I mean, I do the best I can with electronics. I can, okay? I mean, I did soldering and calibration and electronic assembly back 35 years ago. I was able to get into that job like that because I had the ingenuity to solder and calibrate and whatnot. Maybe today you have to go to college for it. I have no idea, since the circuit boards are like teeny tiny. The circuit board I was working on is maybe like the size of your palm. And to me, that was kind of small back then, but this is like 35, 40 years. This is what we're talking about. Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Awesome, awesome, great forgiveness. I'm glad you forgave what you forgave, though, Linda. Thank you.
There's always lots.
Okay, Sebastian, any forgiveness in the field?
A lot of forgiveness for me, lot of opportunity. That's a recurrent for me. That's the same opportunity with different form. But one important for me, maybe that's recurrent for me is maybe every day. I don't know for my job because I have a new job for the moment, but and with my girlfriend, it's a little bit it's a no man's land kind of. I don't know if I need to go back in France or stay here. It's a little bit confused. And my opportunity of forgiveness is to have faith and to forgive the mind wandering. Tell me that's the moment, it's not the moment I need to live. I need to live that forgive this moment. And well, yes, I have other opportunity every day. I don't know. Maybe it's a symptom, a physical symptom. Sometimes, yes, I need to forgive. It's a recurrent. I have a lot of recurrent problem. A problem, kind of problem. It's not a problem. And that's it. Maybe you stay 21 seconds. And, yeah.
Good job.
Thank you.
Great. Yes. Time to spare. Well, you know, that's great that you're forgiving those situations, Sebastian, and you are applying what you're learning, and that is what it's all about.
Yes, yes. I hope I do my best, and I try to clarify the message, the forgiveness message, because it's so simple, but the ego want to complicate,
Yeah.
want to distort, make a distortion of the. Yes, it's a. In the last book of Gary Renard, he say, Arten Pircha say, the ego's thought system, it's a mechanism who don't let anything. He wants every time to you to believe of the separation, of the idea of separation, of the guilt.
Yeah,
Because
100%.
separation, it's a guilt. It's a guilt and separation. That's the same. Yes, and I believe every moment I see this belief in my mind, because I want to believe every time. That's the same recurrent. That's why, because I need a new system.
Yep,
For,
that's right. New thought system of the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sebastian.
Thank you, all of us.
So we've reached the end of the hour, and we need a volunteer to choose the next 30 minutes or so of Ken Wapnick videos for us to watch as a team here. Last week, Nathan chose, and the week before, I chose. So who wants to choose? Linda, Angela, Sebastian, who wants to choose? Oh, Linda, raising her hand. Okay, Linda, it's all you. Will you go ahead and choose 30 minutes or so of Ken Wapnick content and post it on our Facebook group? And then we will have a call next Friday at the same time. So that's going to be Friday the 14th of September at 7 o'clock Central. And thank you for being on. Thank you for participating. Thank you, all of you who watch on YouTube. And find us on Living A Course in Miracles Audio Book Club. We are there. And let's go ahead and end the call by everyone unmuting themselves and saying good night and God bless.
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 Simple, huh? Do the best you can. Your higher power loves you.
That's right.
Yo.